Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Tiffany Sorcelli, coming at you just a few minutes past 4 for our big announcement today for Virtuoso. Virtuoso Advising for Artists was created in 2018. It started actually just before I flew to St. Louis to teach at an Opera America conference, a session for their national conference. And from there, it just kind of spiraled from there. Now, I was teaching for Opera America for a year or two prior to that, prior to forming Virtuoso Advising. But it became a platform to share financial literacy education, resources, and provide some coaching and indirect support to artists through that platform. So that was in 2018, and in the last 3 years, Virtuoso Advising for Artists has grown significantly. I have the privilege of serving on the faculty of several of our nation's greatest arts institutions. And we were still working on keeping track of all of the numbers, but there's been over, I would say, 250 individual artists that I have taught or presented to, and that is at least 100 a year over the last 2 years, which is exciting. And things are growing. So in the interest of wanting to continue to enhance the services of Virtuoso and all that we do, the new piece of Virtuoso, the greatest way that I thought I could enhance the offerings was to create a registered investment advisory firm dedicated to serving artists and supporters of the arts. And so it is my privilege to not screen share, but introduce you to Virtuoso Asset Management. Let's see if my screen will. Ha ha ha. I'll share the link. Virtuoso Asset Management, which is a registered investment advisory firm, one of the first in the country, I believe, to provide financial services to artists and supporters of the arts. So Virtuoso Advising for Artists now has a sister company in Virtuoso Asset Management. That's the reveal. I'm going to go a little bit more into that, though, for those of you that want to stick around or keep watching. What is a registered investment advisory firm? What does that mean? A registered investment advisor firm is essentially a firm that specializes in working with individuals to provide investment management and advice. So being a registered investment advisory firm guarantees that we have a fiduciary duty to always do what is in the client's best interest. Virtuoso Asset Management, as a registered investment advisory firm, was created to create a fiduciary financial firm that really could be all about the clients and the client's best interest. So what does that mean? That means no proprietary products, the firm itself is not affiliated with any one financial institution, which gives us the full ability to ensure that we can actually use whatever products are best for the client. I don't work for a financial institution that has its own products, so I don't have to use their products. So that gives me freedom to really ensure that any recommendations or products or investments that we recommend for our clients are done with the client's best interest in mind, not because there's some corporate initiative or higher compensation rate for me placing that product. So that was really important to me. The other thing is no sales quotas. Again, I don't work for anybody else. I work for my clients, and that ensures that I don't have anybody else's agenda to attend to except the client and their goals. So that gives real freedom to ensure that we're doing whatever the clients need. So no proprietary products, no corporate agendas, and no sales quotas. The other thing it is that we don't have any commission-based products. So some investment assets or stocks or mutual funds will come and can be invested for a commission. We don't work like that. Everything that we do at Virtuoso Asset Management is really about being very transparent in the fees that we charge, and we make sure that that is all very clear up front. And it will even be so transparent as to have like fee calculators on our website coming soon, for all of you. So that was the idea. That's the impetus behind this. Now, why? Some people were asking me, Tiffany, do you only work with artists? And the answer is no. But why I created a registered investment advisory firm dedicated to artists and art supporters, I think is really important. So one of my core beliefs is that the arts influence everything that we do. Everything from the values that we instill in our children and how we tell stories and pass them down from generation to the next. Earliest civilizations were capturing and telling stories through visual representations, and there's just so much that we as a civilization do and learn and capture through the arts. I truly believe that it is the arts that allow us to really capture what it means to be human and everything about our human condition. So I believe that our arts are essential. They are vital, and yet they're one of the oft neglected areas of where funding comes from, or where people put their intentional funding. So creating a firm that's dedicated to serving artists and supporters of the arts just really aligns my day job with my values. I began performing when I was 8, many of you know, and I had a decade-long performance career even before I went to undergrad and get my formal education. The arts have always been formative to who I am, and I think they're really essential to our society. So building a firm that is dedicated to serving the arts and supporters of the arts really fills a void that I see in our country. Now, what does it mean to be a supporter of the arts? I think that more and more people are supporters of the arts and they don't even know it. So when I say someone who is a supporter of the arts, someone who enjoys them, whether it's just, enjoying live music during your dinner, or following concerts, or being a season subscription holder for a local institution, or maybe you're just someone who appreciates a good Etsy find online. Whatever it is, I mean, we are inundated with art in everything, whether it's architecture or marketing or anything. Our society is constantly producing and consuming. So to be a supporter of the arts just means you're a consumer, you're an engager. Maybe you're a creative person yourself. Maybe it's your full-time job, maybe it's your hobby, whatever. The way that we work with our clients is just to ensure that everybody we bring into the community believes in the core values of arts being essential, arts being important. And the way that we as a community will put that into action, because taking action is important, is the 1% for the arts give back. So 1% for the arts is, it's a concept that I came up with early on in the Virtuoso ethos or world. So Virtuoso Advising had made a practice of giving back a percentage of every check that I ever received for teaching. I would always turn it back around and give a percentage back to the program through a year-end donation, because I was grateful for the opportunity to share the work and the mission of Virtuoso Advising, but I also believe that giving back and donating intentionally to the arts institution is crucial. So when I was creating Virtuoso Asset Management, it was really important for me to bake into the very foundation of the company a 1% for the arts give back. So 1% for the arts will be 1% of all revenues, gross revenues, total revenues for both companies, both Virtuoso companies, will be turned around and donated back to an arts institution. Now, the unique thing about this is that the institution that we give back to will be selected by members and clients of the firm, right? We as a community will decide where that 1% is going. Each year I will produce an annual report of revenues received. This is what is looking like we're going to be able to give back as our 1%. And then you as the community will tell me where it goes. And then there'll be a voting process and then a celebration as we, as a financial community, are able to make a greater difference outside of ourselves. So does that mean I have to raise rates in order to provide that 1%? Absolutely not. So much of building this firm is really about providing radical transparency as to how the financial sector works. There is a lot of jargon, there is a lot of disempowerment, keeping people confused and feeling like they don't know enough to make whatever decisions are right. And my hope is that by providing constant communication, radical transparency in the fees, in the earnings, in what it costs to run a financial services business, by providing all of that to my clients, they're able to be empowered to know how their money is being stewarded, how the office and the firm is operating that is stewarding their money, and then collectively we are able to do well beyond ourselves, to create a greater impact in the community. So it's all baked in, into the vision of what we do. So what is it that we do? What does Virtuoso Asset Management really do? So we have a couple of different areas that we're able to serve our clients. The first is through comprehensive financial planning, fee-based financial planning, meaning for a flat fee, we will build a comprehensive financial plan. And what does that mean? That means really sitting down, spending about 5 hours together over the course of the planning experience to ensure that we're really clear on what are the goals, what are kind of the situation currently financially, and what is it that we're looking to achieve. So what is coming up in the short, mid, and long term. Each financial plan is different because everybody's goals are different, but I think it's really important that we have a place that we can do this type of planning, and I am feeling really empowered to be able to do that kind of planning and know that I'm only focused on what the client's needs are, not what somebody else is telling me I should be doing with that. So that's financial planning. The second area is asset management. So being a registered investment advisory firm, the company that I'm partnering with to steward as custodian for the funds is Charles Schwab. They have Schwab Advisor Services, and that is the custodian that my financial firm will be using. So I'm not holding on to anybody's money. But together we will build an investment strategy by utilizing the funds that are out there in the marketplace to ensure that one's investments are aligned with what their goals are. But the other added piece to asset management that I'm bringing into this firm is the importance of utilizing or expressing interest in ESG funds. Socially responsible investing initiatives have come such a long way. And many of my clients have had shown an interest in building a portfolio that was performing for what their needs were, but also was invested in such a way that it was in alignment with their goals and values. And so everything from the the risk survey software that we use actually measures and shows me, the advisor, what values you're best aligned with. That allows me to select certain funds or stocks or bonds to align them with your values as they are. So it's really important not only to build an investment strategy that is in alignment with your goals and your risk tolerance, but also your values. And then the third area that we're able to work with individuals is through our membership program. So membership is not just for young individuals, but it's for anybody that wants to be part of the community that might not have any accounts that need it invested, or might not really have a need for financial planning or the means to pay for it at this time. But it might just be for the DIY person, right? You want the tools, you want the resources to begin building your own investment strategy. And that's what our membership allows. So membership comes with monthly information and a way to focus on core areas of one's own financial strategy. Kind of hand it down over a series of months. The other thing that membership provides is just access to some of my my softwares and some of my tools that I make available to my clients. I'm happy to open up to anybody who's a member so that one can aggregate their own accounts or know that they can safely and securely view their financial information and not just get inundated with a bunch of cookies and spam and advertisements. So, so those are the core areas that we work in. There's other things that I'm able to do now through the registered investment advisory firm, one-off consultations, anything like that. Just even building investment strategies for people who I don't custodian or serve as an advisor on their funds. But the firm in and of itself was designed and built to be of service in a way that I wasn't able to find anywhere else. So I just created my own. So that's it. That's Virtuoso Asset Management, the sister company for Virtuoso Advising for Artists. So my Virtuoso advising work will continue. I look forward to getting back into the fall with some of our residency programs and serving those individuals. And now I have a place where I can work with and steward and build financial plans for the artist clients that I've worked with at these programs, or anyone else beyond in my sphere of influence. So it's always been a privilege to serve as a partner in planning for the individuals that I've been able to serve over the last 6 years. This is definitely my life's calling, and I love what I do. Those of you who I've had the privilege of working for, I think you know that. So it's a delight to be able to build something, to know that I'm really in a position now where I can only focus on what my clients' needs are, and make a difference while doing that. And I really believe that this community is going to make a great difference in our country and in the world. So about a month ago, as I was getting all of this off the ground, I received this lovely bottle of champagne from one of our partners, Positively, and it said in the card, "Dear Tiffany, congratulations on the launch of Virtuoso Asset Management." And I had to wait because New York State, because things take a long time, because launching registered investment advisory firms goes through many layers of scrutiny and filing to ensure that consumers are protected, and that firms are set up to be operating with the fiduciary duty of our clients' best interests. So we are here. I'm going to pop the bubbly. I welcome you to join me in celebrating Virtuoso Asset Management. And I look forward to hearing from many of you in the future, or being able to even serve as your advisor. So thank you for coming to the live launch. I guess this is how you do things now. Like when you launch a new business, you go live and you talk about it. Next month, I look forward to sharing our new storefront space with many of you as we open that up in Burnt Hills, New York, to have a physical location for the Virtuoso companies. And thank you for joining me. I toast to you, and we'll talk soon. Bye, guys.